Hello there, fellow NPCs. I am Scythe, and today we're getting back into Everlasting Summer. We are still at day 1 here at Camp Sovyonok, I believe it was called, Owlet. And we haven't had any lunch today. All we know is that we got here, we can't leave, we can't contact the outside world, and now we're hungry. So we have been led here to the cafeteria, or whatever it was called, and now we're going to meet one more person. I believe it's Alyssa that we saw earlier, the hardcore Quinn similar kind of girl, but we'll see who it is. So yeah, let's go. And that somebody was apparently trying hopelessly to open the door. Without any secret thoughts, I walked up onto the porch. Yeah, Alyssa. The lockpicker turned out to be Alyssa. I like Alyssa better. Alyssa. I should have probably kept off and waited. She looked at me intently for a while, then said, "Don't just stand there, give me a hand or something." Meaning, help me open the door. Why? 'Cause I want some buns and kefir. Dinner wasn't big enough. Is that really a good idea? Aren't you hungry yourself, huh? Well, Diana didn't let you have a normal dinner, did she? She smiled sarcastically. It's true, she didn't. It's fine. Slavya will come now and... What? Guess I should have said that. I'm off then. And you'll pay for this. You owe me two already. Oh. Having said that, Alyssa disappeared into the night. And what was the first one? Slavya didn't keep me waiting for too long. Is everything alright? Yeah. Why are you asking? No reason. Yes, it's nothing. It would be better if I didn't tell her about Alyssa. I can't decide. Should it be Alyssa, because that's the actual name, or Alyssa? Because I like Alyssa better, but Alyssa. Everything's fine. I said that and immediately heard a note of dishonesty in my voice. Well, shall we go? As for Slavya, she seemed not to have noticed anything. Or at least she was pretending she hadn't. We entered the canteen. Canteen is the word. Wait a bit, I'll go get something. I sat down on a chair and obediently waited for my savior. Oh, see, that's a completely different style from what it was in the beginning. I wonder why that is. Did they, put out a lot of effort on the intro CGs or something? My dinner was simple, a few buns and a glass of kefir. No wonder, I bet hungry pioneers finished everything off. However, even that was far better than most of my usual diet. Slavya sat across the table and looked at me while I was eating. Is there something on my face? No, yes, she smiled. So, how do you like your first day in the camp? Well, I don't really know. It's silly to ask someone who suddenly found himself in a different reality whether he liked the food in the canteen, the camp leader, or his assigned hut. It's alright, I'll soon get used to it. Slavya stared out the window dreamily. Frankly speaking, I have no desire to get used to such things, but as for her, she doesn't know. Or at least she wants me to think that she doesn't. Well, all in all, it's nice here. I had her to somehow break the awkward silence. Do you think so? She asked without any interest. Yeah, this place is so... I wanted to say retro, but I managed to hold that back. After all, it was retro for me, but what about them? It might be the only kind of life they knew. If the term life was applicable here at all. That's a bit too soon to assume. They are seeming to be alive. So how? She watched me closely, as if something important depended on my answer. Well, I don't know. Lovely. Yeah, it's lovely here. I guess you're right. She smiled again. It's very good that you think so. Why? Well, not everybody likes it here. And what about you? Me? Yes. I love it here. It's great. Then you don't need to worry about what other people think. Well, I don't really worry. Slavya laughed. This conversation seemed to be leading me far astray from where I wanted to get to. And you're worried yourself. Really? Why do you say that? Well, when someone is chewing so intensely... I'm sorry. It's okay. I couldn't bring myself to be more cautious around this girl. But why her in particular? Why not any other local inhabitant? Every one of them looked completely normal to me. Precisely normal. So normal it sends chills down my spine and into my marrow. I did not remember him being so cautious and afraid the first time I played. But that was also 10 years ago when I was, what was I, 22, 23? Maybe even 24? So yeah. Normal. Not like a neighbor with a power drill in one hand and a subwoofer in the other. Not like a passenger you can often meet in a subway or on a public transport. Not like a coworker at the next table in an open plan office. And not even like a friend who only differs from other humans in his constant insistence. All of them looked normal, as I would expect them to be, with their own downsides but without any superpowers. And Slavya was also cute. I glanced at her stealthily, not knowing what to say. I'm sorry, I wanted to show you the camp but ran off my feet. I didn't miss anything while on my own, I guess. Are you sure you haven't missed anything at all? She smiled so brightly that I had to drop my eyes in confusion. Well, how would I know? It's my first day here. Okay, and what have you seen so far? I've seen the square, this canteen, the football field, and what about the beach? Just from afar. You really should go there, or let's do it together. Yeah, okay. We will. Or we won't, because on the first run I want to not get close to any of the girls. Her naturalness started to scare me, but then I thought, what if everything that happens here is how it's supposed to be, and this world looks strange only to me, while for them it is normal? Maybe I was thrown into the past. Yes, that would explain a lot. Can I ask a stupid question? No. Slavya smiled and stood up from the table. It's late. Can you find a way to Olga Dmitrievna by yourself? Of course I can, but why should I go there, and why can't I ask a stupid question? Why I want to ask a stupid question? Come on. She'll settle you with someone. What for? Probably this question seems stupid because Slavya bursted into good-natured laughter. You need to sleep somewhere, right? That makes sense. Fine. I'll be off then. Good night. Night. It's strange that she left in such a hurry. A bundle of keys left in the door lock caught my attention. I was going to catch up to Slavya, but where does she live? And knocking on every door during the middle of the night didn't sound like a bright idea. Take the keys, leave the keys. What do I need the keys for? A bundle of keys left on the door lock caught my attention. I was going to catch up to Slavya, but where does she live? Oh, I see. Leave the keys. On the other hand, why would I need them? The night, though dark, wasn't silent at all. One could hear chirping crickets. The songs of the night birds and rustling trees from everywhere. A sudden desire to follow Slavya's advice and go to the camp leader's cabin appeared. I don't know why, but the sight of the unknown bronze builder of the communism put me in a constructive mood. Hello, Genja, or whatever your name was. I sat on the bench and started to recall everything that happened today. That was all my constructive mood could offer. Here was much brighter than near the canteen, and tardy pioneers were running by, so this place didn't seem scary at all. Bus, summer camp, girls. I was so tired from everything new and strange that I could not come up with a single explanation for what was going on. I heard a barely noticeable rustle nearby. I shivered and looked in that direction. A girl, reading a book. Lena. I decided to move closer and talk. She was the only person I had met here without exchanging even a few words. Hi. What are you reading? Lena was surprised that she even jumped. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. Never mind. She blushed and stared at the book again. So, what are you reading? On the cover was written, Gone with the Wind. Keep silent. It's gonna be a boring first run here, but yeah. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that such literature suits her very well. Lena didn't seem to be interested in continuing this conversation. Well, if I'm bothering you... No. She answered while still looking at the book. Can I sit beside you for a while? Why? No, really, why? Maybe just because I was very tired and having company is better than being alone. And maybe I wanted to try to find something out from her. I carefully examined Lena. But no, I doubt that. Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to? Feel free. But if I'm bothering you, no, you're not. I can leave, just say everything's alright. Okay then. I sat on the end of the bench carefully. After such an intense talk, staying here was the last thing I wanted. But it would have been nice to just stand up and leave. That didn't really go well, huh? Lena hasn't answered anything. It seemed I made a fool out of myself. I bet if Uliana was here, she'd have a good laugh at me. Do you enjoy being here? I recalled Slavya's question and thought it would be a good start for a conversation. Yes. She smiled slightly. Yes, I like it too. Lena definitely isn't very sociable and probably can't carry on a meaningless conversation as easily as Slavya. But there was something about her that attracted attention. Like a momentary glimpse of reflection in the glass of a rainy autumn evening, which makes you turn around and stare into darkness searching for something that you saw out of the corner of your eye. Of course you weren't able to distinguish or understand what it was, but it still felt so tempting. Lena was still reading the book without paying any attention to my presence, and I had no intention of asking her anything about this camp or this world in general. Beautiful night. Yes. How in the world would you start a conversation with her? Yeah. She's not very easy to talk to. I have encountered that a few times myself, you know. It's late. I have to go. Yes, it's quite late. Good night. Night. There was something strange about this girl. At first glance, she is typically shy and modest pioneer girl, but the Mr. Alena took its own place in the massive list of mysteries about this camp which I had started to put together in my head. A lazy evening. There's nothing like a good time with nothing to do. I headed towards Olga Dmitrievna's cabin. The light in the house was on. Hello, Semyon. You're quite late. Yeah. I went for a walk to look around the camp. Alright. You will be sleeping here. She pointed her finger at one of the beds. Right here? I was a bit surprised. Yeah? Is something wrong? We are out of free cabins anyway. The camp leader smiled, but I'd rather think it was just out of politeness. You do want to be a decent pioneer, don't you? There was a clear emphasis on the word decent. Yup, sure. I was lost in thought for a moment. Don't you mind it, mademoiselle? She looked at me oddly, with surprise and some offense in her eyes. A pioneer should respect their elders, Olga Dmitrievna said strictly. Of course he should. No one argues with that, I blathered, not realizing what was wrong. Shouldn't you also? She stared at me. Under such a gaze, even mithril forged by the best dwarves master from the deepest dungeons would melt. Should I what? What's up, Toots? Annoyance and a lack of understanding made me raise my voice. You must address adults appropriately. Yes, of course. There's a lot of strange things here. But this girl is just a couple of years older than me. Or maybe even younger. But I decided not to argue. While just a few minutes ago I would never have called her an adult, I have to admit that she was also given a strong character. And in any case, I wasn't in a position to argue. As you say, ma'am, I mumbled. That's much better. That is how a decent pioneer should conduct himself. And now it's time to sleep. What is a pioneer? Is it just a camper? I don't understand. Is it a youth scout? Is that what a pioneer is? Because it seems to be a lot of rules, but also just camping, Summer camp. Honestly speaking, I was going to become neither a decent nor an indecent pioneer. Yes, yesterday I wasn't going to become a pioneer at all. But do I have a choice now? If you don't want to, we'll have to make you. This is the motto Olga Dmitrievna was probably going to use. I climbed onto the bed and I closed my eyes only to realize how tired I was after today. Something hammered in my head awfully, as if my brains had started a night shift. And they seemed to be aimed more at a rolling steel than working on something more sensitive. The buzz flew through my mind. And the square with a monument. Then canteen, full of pioneers. And the malicious face of Uliana. Slavya. Lena. And even recalling Eliza didn't give me too much of a negative feeling. I think I hear a heartbeat. Or is it my own? I don't know. What if I'm here for good? Day 2. And this is also reality. The reality where we are in the 21st century, whatever that, regardless of where I am, when I am right now. I was having a dream. It seemed like I was in some kind of vacuum, with nothing but nothing around me. But not only around, I was the only creature in the universe. As if the universe had returned to a state of singularity right before the Big Bang. And something was just about to happen. Suddenly, I heard a voice. I could not make out the words, but it sounded familiar. The voice was whispering something gently, as if soothing me. And then I realized it was the voice of the strange girl from the bus. The girl from the dream. But what is she trying to tell me? Who is she? I woke up. Bright sunlight struck my eyes. It was almost noon. After stretching lazily on the bed and yawning, I started to recall the previous day. In few seconds, all its events passed before my eyes. The bus, the camp, the local inhabitants. No, that's just wrong. Not this whole situation, not me being here, was wrong by default. My attitude towards what was happening was wrong. Because yesterday I fell asleep here just like that, and before that I chatted nicely with the local pioneers, who even managed to crack a few jokes. How could I act like that in such a situation? I should be frightened, startled by every little rustling. Should avoid all contact with potentially hostile creatures. The last day's event were getting hazy, like I had a hangover. This really feels like the morning after a heavy drinking party. Yesterday's natural, flawless, absolutely normal conduct becomes a nightmare in the morning. A grotesque illustration from the Divine Comedy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This entire thing so far has been very big words, very philosophical. It's like the writers of this game have been reading a lot of big books, which is something Russia in general is very famous for. Great authors in general, you know. So I'm thinking they have been studying a lot of literature. The writer for this game. Yes, it's just like that, and I can't change the past now. Then again, I had probably assessed the situation and was acting accordingly. I glanced around, trying to figure out whether I had been thrown somewhere else, but Olga Dmitrievna's cabin looked the same as yesterday. Everything seemed to be in its place, except for a pioneer uniform, which was hanging from a bedhead. I fumbled with it in distrust and tried it on. At least this is better than walking around in winter clothes. Wish I could see myself, but I bet I look like a clown. And for that, I needed a mirror. At least a tiny one. I finally found one on the wardrobe door. Holy! I looked at the newfound pioneer and jumped away in surprise. There was some teenager on the other side of the mirror. He resembled me, but he wasn't me. Where did the weak stubble go? Where were the bags under my eyes, the slouch, deathly fatigue on my face? It seemed that I had not been thrown back in time or into a parallel reality, but instead I had simply changed bodies with someone else. Right, that's real simple. Such things happen every day. I took a closer look at this stranger, and only then I realized that it actually was me. It just wasn't today's me. Maybe the one from between my school and university years. But at least that's something. There you go. The person in an extreme situation did fail to notice the elephant in the room after all. But the camp leader noticed it, and last night she told me off for addressing her without proper respect. Ah, screw that. I doubt my appearance affects anything else. If the clock was not lying, breakfast was long over. Oh well, I'll try to find something in the canteen. It worked out well yesterday with Slavya, didn't it? Those memories made me smile involuntarily. The sun was shining brightly outside, a light breeze was blowing. A beautiful summer day. I had not felt so good in the morning for several years. All problems were gone, vanished into clouds that were white as snow. Olga Dmitrievna came out of nowhere. Good morning, Semyon. Morning. I smiled, doing my best to show that, no matter what, my morning was indeed good. You only arrived yesterday, so I decided not to wake you up. But breakfast? Never mind, here, take this. She handed me something wrapped in paper. Judging by the oily stains, there had to be sandwiches inside. Oh, thank you. Now, go wash yourself. Oh, I was about to leave. Wait a second. Okay. Olga Dmitrievna quickly ran into the house and came out to shove a small bag into my hands. Inside I found a toothbrush, soap, a small towel and something else. I did not look too closely. A pioneer should always be clean and tidy. Let me do your handkerchief properly the first time. Yours is askew. You should do it yourself once you learn how to. Do we have to? I'm going to wash myself now. Yeah, right. It could get hooked on the tap and strangle me. Fine. Later then. And don't forget about the lineup. Pencils, paper, drawing lines. You don't forget such things. What lineup? What do you mean, what lineup? She frowned. It's a Monday today. Weird. By my approximation, it should have been a Sunday. Actually, when this is aired, it's actually going to be a Monday. It was a 1 in 5, I guess. Then again, a shift in the day of the week is hardly the worst thing. Usually we have lineups early in the mornings before breakfast, but it's Monday today, so we are having it at 12 o'clock. Don't be late. Alright, but where? At the square. Where else? There was no reason to argue. I headed to the bathing place. Oh yeah. I knew I could forget about separate showers and toilets, but at the sight of this malfunction symptom of decaying socialism, a funny turtle with a tin shell, paw taps and a ceramic belly, I felt sick. Was not a squeamish person, but nevertheless, standing there I realized that there was still some more minimal level of habitual comfort which I found troublesome to do without. Oh, are these showers? I guess they are. I thought they were, what do you say? Where you put where you wash your hands. It's often like that. When you lose things that you thought were ordinary and common, you suddenly understand just how essential they were. A sink. I thought they were sinks. Ah, screw this. As if I have any choice. Yeah, they are sinks. The water was ice cold. While washing my hands was not an issue, washing my face and my mouth became a big problem. There was no toothpaste in the bag which Olga Dmitrievna gave me. I could brush my teeth without it, but there was a small round box wrapped in the towel. Tooth powder. Cute. 1 point for me being somewhere in the past. I washed myself quite quickly, also due to the ice cold water. Someone was coming quickly, or more like running towards me. I turned around. Ah, Slavya. It was Slavya, dressed in a tracksuit. This girl would probably look good in anything. Pioneer uniform, bikini, probably even a spacesuit. Hey there. Oh, heyo. I mean, good morning. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a crush on her already. Oh yeah, real smooth. Why didn't you come for breakfast? I overslept. I said it as if I was proud about it. Oh, okay. In that case, I overslept. I said it as if I was proud about it. But Olga Dmitrievna gave me some sandwiches. Oh, great then. Don't forget about the lineup. Yeah, sure. As if I could forget. Right, I gotta run. Enjoy yourself. She waved goodbye to me and disappeared around the path's bend. Looks like it's a couple of minutes until the lineup. I should quickly pass by my home to drop off my washing bag and eat the sandwiches, and then head to the square. I swung open the door of the camp's leader cabin and rushed inside, as if jumping into the last car of a departing train. Well, hello there. It didn't turn out to be the best idea, because inside I found Olga Dmitrievna, who was changing. I froze on the spot, trying not to breathe. She can't see you if you don't move. Is that the kind of logic we're going with here? Finally, the camp leader noticed me. Semyon! I looked away immediately. Have you heard of knocking? Now, get out! Yeah, that was real clumsy. Although I did enjoy the sight. Olga Dmitrievna followed me out in a minute. Here, take this. Now it's your home too. She handed me a key. I put it in my pocket. Home. Of course, if you disregard how fantastical the current events were, this camp was far from being the worst place on earth. But to call it home, just after one day spent here, I doubt I'll ever be able to do so. Alright, let's go. We're late. Actually, I'm pretty comfortable calling just about anything home, because home is not where I live. Home is where I sleep for the night. So if I live in a hotel for a week, I'm going home. If I have a tent, I'm going home. Because that's where my bed is. Everything else can be done anywhere else, but my sleeping place is my home. I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that, honestly. It's more of a, I don't know what I should call it. Alright, let's go. We're late. But what about the sandwiches? Just eat them on the way. We were passing along the lines of pioneers' cabins while I was tucking into the ham sandwiches, and Olga Dmitrievna kept on talking and talking. She was buzzing like a game of Operation with Parkinson's. Sheesh, that's rude. But I cared about nothing but the food. Understood? Huh? You weren't listening. Sorry, I was eating sandwiches. Today is the first day of our new life as a pioneer. And you should do your best so it becomes a happy life. Don't say it like that. You make it sound like I'm not going to be able to leave. Ah, yeah, definitely. I'm serious. A pioneer has many duties, great responsibilities conferred upon him. To participate in social work, to help his juniors, to study and study and study again. We are all here like one big family. And you will become a part of it. Yeah, a part. I'd even sign a party membership card if it could save me from listening to this nonsense. I hope that after your term here is over, you'll keep the most pleasant memories about our camp. Memories that will last your whole life. And when will this term end? Why do you keep asking silly things? It seems I won't get any information from her. A shame, really. This world appears to be so friendly, but it never bothered to introduce itself to me. Perhaps now I can take things somewhat easier than yesterday. It seems like I have some unspoken ceasefire with it. It isn't trying to hurt me, but I'm forbidden from asking questions. Of course, the situation isn't a pleasant one, but what can I do about it? A bad peace is better than a good dispute. The most important thing for now is to make the best of the time you will spend here. I'll do my best. Honestly, I was very tired of this conversation. It would be good to know where that here is. But we came to the square. The pioneers were already lined up. What? Is somebody not here yet? So someone is missing, and that will be the end of today's episode. So yeah, we are still just getting to know everything and getting to know everyone. As I said, the first run is going to be a slow burn. And we are just picking up the many different pieces that this game is going to present to us later in the game. And yeah, now we are on day 2. Day 2 will start, and so it will. I believe it will start rolling forward now. I have no idea how to say that stuff properly, but I believe this camp is only 5 days long, if I remember correctly. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you Josef for donating directly to my Ko-fi page. If you guys want to help me out, you can do so by clicking the link down in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one, and remember, just because you're not the main character, it does not mean you're not important. Goodbye everyone.